Hey runners, with the Boston Marathon coming up next week, somebody may have asked you, what's the big deal about the Boston Marathon? Well, if you don't have the answer on the tip of your tongue, I'm going to give it to you in the next 2 minutes. Let's go.
First, Boston is special because it's a qualified race. That means you need to meet a certain time to be allowed to run the race. That makes it a little like the Olympics or getting into Harvard, except the organizers of the Boston Marathon want it to be challenging to get in, but not impossible. While the standards to get into the marathon were made more strict in 2012, they still aim to allow the top 5 to 10% of runners to get into the race. Think about that in contrast to the Olympic marathon, where only the top 2 runners from the United States, or about 0.001%, actually get to participate. So Boston is not only a qualified race, but it's achievable to get there for mere mortals like you and me. That makes Boston unlike almost any other elite event in the world, in that we the people have a shot of competing alongside the best in a sporting event. In fact, when you're wearing your Boston jacket around town on marathon weekend, you'll feel like a star, and that's a big part of the experience. Boston is a tradition. The first running in 1897 was inspired by the success of the first modern-day Olympic marathon in 1896. That makes Boston the world's oldest marathon, as well as one of the oldest consecutively held sporting events. If you want to find tradition, you'll definitely find it on the road to Boston each spring. Fourth, the Boston Marathon has some of the best spectators in the world. Because Boston falls on a regional holiday called Patriots Day, most people have the day off to come out to the race and cheer. With the race course passing many colleges along the way, including the famous stretch near Wellesley College, the Boston crowds are a kind of madness that really make the experience incredible. And sadly, with the 2013 Boston Marathon bombings, Boston has become an even more unifying and patriotic event for both runners and the city of Boston itself. Boston has now proclaimed the day One Boston Day, so that adds yet another layer to the big deal of the Boston Marathon.
And that, folks, is why Boston is such a big deal. Now you know. Good luck to all the runners out there and to those that one day want to run as one in Boston.